What's up, everybody? This is Jude from section 116 on ArgosEndzone.com. It's time for your Week 2 action as the Argos travel out to Regina to take on the Saskatchewan Roughriders. As always, you can click the See More button on the YouTube channel, jump to the chapter you want to see. As we get rolling here, we'll take a look back at how the season started off for our Argos. The recap of Week 1 has got to start with the Toronto Argonauts Public Relations and Promotions team, because they did an amazing job of getting the word out about this game, creating an amazing pre-game and in-game atmosphere. Freddie's always talking about you can't control what happens on the field as a team, but you can control what's happening as a fan experience in the stands. The Argos did this from beginning to end. Your tailgate was amazing, with legends like Rocket Ishmael walking around through the tailgate. The shipyard, for those of us that didn't drive down there to get into the tailgate, still got to experience the live performances of Cardinal Fischel and the Strombellas. Not to mention TSN Broadcasting Live. Dutchie and Kate were there. I mean, that was great. And there was a lot made of $4 beers, which were in abundance. They were there. The marching band that led everybody down to the stadium. The full-on precision marching band. The cheerleaders with the throws and catches. A revamped Jason. If you've seen him lately, my first instinct was someone get him a jersey with a bigger neck hole because he's suffocating. No, the blue's supposed to be there. He's double blue. Looks sharp. And he's angrier. He's angry again, kind of like a couple years ago. The incarnation from last year, he looked a little placated to me. It almost looked like he'd been drugged around the eyes. He's angry again, and I love that. It was a fantastic show. The inaugural shirts that were waiting for us when we got to our seats, and how they were able to make the Argos A happen on the one sideline. It was an amazing, fantastic introduction to football at BMO that I think everybody enjoyed until kickoff. Okay. Credit where credit's due. This game ended with when Simone Lawrence stepped on the field. He was a monster that the Argos had no answer for. A tip of the cap to Orlando Steinhauer, defense coordinator for the Ticats, who put together a hell of a scheme that made things absolutely miserable for the Argos on offense. They got lucky. Hamilton got lucky on offense a little bit early on. A tip pass that goes into the hands of Fantus for the first opening score. And now the Argos made some great halftime adjustments, as that third quarter was definitely a different team. That's really a Milanovic calling card, is his ability to make these adjustments at halftime. The frustration, of course, is just that they weren't able to get going with what they wanted to do in that first half, creating a lead they just couldn't come back from. And, of course, the return of Chad Owens. I got a hunch this was easier for Chad because he never had the opportunity to play at this stadium. I mean, it's the first time in 6 years the Double Blue was on the opposite side, but it wasn't Rogers Center where you'd had all those memories in terms of the Grey Cup and the outstanding player. I got a hunch this was easier. Not that it was easy, but easier. So he had that highlight reel touchdown catch down in my end zone. It was he put on a show as well. He definitely contributed and showed that he's not done yet, contrary to whatever had happened, that he wasn't offered a contract by Toronto. So, I mean, a lot of people are saying, we're pointing at Ricky Ray, that he wasn't doing what he needed to do. It obviously didn't help for the next day for Trevor Harris to light it up in Ottawa coming off the bench. But, I mean, let's just give credit where credit's due. Hamilton played one heck of a game. It doesn't feel good to say that, but let's be honest. That defense was dynamite. They caused turnovers. It was a frustrating game to watch. I'm hoping that's not going to be a negative impact on Argos fans that had their first experience of it. I hope the entire experience made them want to come back, because the atmosphere was electric. Confirmed by Don Landry and Mike Hogan, that building was loud. So tip of the cap to the Argos and even the Tigers fans, as that building was loud. Argos travel out to the prairies to take on the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Riders had a Week 1 bye thanks to the uneven schedule with only 9 teams. So this is their first opportunity to step on the field for the 2016 season. And it's happening at home. Also, the swan song from Mosaic Stadium. This is their last year at Mosaic as they move to a new building next year themselves. So there's going to be a ton of nostalgia for Rider fans all year round. The challenge, of course, of trying to make any type of prediction is that you've got a completely revamped team. New head coach, Chris Jones bought a lot of his guys from Edmonton, but a total revamp of the players, too. Like more than half of the players are new to Saskatchewan this year. So it's going to be difficult to try to figure out what to keep an eye out for. The returning Darian Durant is going to be one to make an impact for sure. And the Argos, I've got to bounce back from last week's debacle. Debacle's not fair, but it wasn't part of the plan. If everybody thinks back to last year's game in Saskatchewan, it was an absolute air show with highlight upon highlight upon highlight. That went overtime. It was an amazing game. Now, the principles in terms of the quarterbacks are no longer there, as the Argos had Trevor Harris and the Riders had Kevin Glenn. Both of those quarterbacks have departed. So now you've got Durant and Ray, both capable quarterbacks, being able to recreate that type of magic and atmosphere. So it's going to be a fun game. Every game in Saskatchewan is fun. That's a passionate fan base. I will not call them the number one fan base, but they are definitely a passionate bunch. Will be a very entertaining game from beginning to end. And hey, it's leading into your Canada Day long weekend. Last week's Who to Watch did not go well at all. Andre Dury didn't start and made, I think, 2 catches. Jermaine Gabriel suffered a nasty-looking injury in the third quarter. We hope he comes back healthy. Reports are that he's back. I know he's made the trip to Saskatchewan. I don't know if he's dressed, but that was a nasty-looking injury. I'm starting to feel a bit like the kiss of death, so we'll see how this week goes, because what I'm expecting from this week then is on offense, you're going to want to keep an eye on Ricky Ray, as it's time for him to step up. A lot of talk about him not taking enough snaps in the preseason, resulting in that performance against Hamilton. I still think it was the Hamilton defense more than Ricky Ray's offense. So a revamped Saskatchewan defense could be vulnerable to a Ricky Ray attack. Keep an eye on quarterback, number 15, Ricky Ray on offense. On defense, I'm looking for the other Ricky Foley, number 95. A man that played 2 seasons in Saskatchewan, very, very proud, near Toronto born. He's from Curtis. So he's got a ton of pride in him. He's not going to be happy with the way things worked out last week. So he's going to want to come back to Saskatchewan, where he still has a very rabid fan base, and make a loud impact. So keep an eye on number 95 defensive end, Ricky Foley on defense. Number 15 quarterback, Ricky Ray on offense. It's Ricky time. Early season score predictions are not terribly easy, with not a lot to fall back on. Those of you that watched last week noticed that I actually got the score almost right, just for the wrong teams. But what I'm looking at this weekend, as I said, Saskatchewan with a totally revamped offense and defense with new coordinators brought in by new head coach Chris Jones. It might take some time for them to gel, but they've also got the emotion of that home crowd and that fan base pushing them forward. Argos, with a game under their belt, known to make the corrections from the mistakes from last week, should see an elevated performance from them as well. So, based on the Argos being further down the road with their personnel and their system, I'm giving the edge to Toronto. And because I'm a total homer, I'm going to the edge to the Argos. And based on that air show that the two of them put on last year in Saskatchewan, I'm thinking big score on the Argos side. The rejuvenated Argos defense buckling down and making sure that the Saskatchewan can't reply. So I'm thinking like this is going to be a 47-18 Argos win. That's a big number. Oh, I can't believe I verbalized that. Well, hey, screw it. I mean, there's no undo button on a video, is there? That'll wrap things up here for week 2. Hope you had some fun. As always, like, comment, share. Let us know that you're watching this, and let us know what you like and didn't like. Follow us on our social media channels. We're on Twitter, Facebook, on YouTube. Making suggestions of something that we should be doing on a social media. We'll have some fun with it. Heck, that's all we're doing here anyways. So, it's a Thursday game, June 30th. Get yourself in front of the TV if you can't be in Saskatchewan. I've been told that's a heck of an atmosphere if you can be there. Be there and make that happen. Say hi to Devin and the band for me here. We miss you, man. Come on back to Facebook. And, yeah, make sure you support your Argos cheerleaders picking up the calendar. And, yeah, this is going to be fun. Guys, have a great long weekend. Make sure you wear your red. This is the only time of year, second time of year, where it's okay to not wear double blue and wear the red on Canada Day. And, of course, you want to wear pink during the pink week there for the CFL. But, again, have a great long weekend. Enjoy the game. And as always, this is Drew from Section 116 and ArgosEndzone.com reminding you that we ride the rail. And we ride. Go Argos, go!